Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nanda Koti Vaishnavanti Ki Jai Ram Jai Das Thakur Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to today's class.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare
Anyone
Krishna,
have taken up this Nitai challenge here in the group?
Yes,
No one?
Mataji, I am attending.
Okay, Muralidhar Prabhu, you are attending. Actually, 7 to 8 it is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela reading. No?
Yes,
So we have to read on our own today.
No problem.
Yes. Okay. So the verse. We just have 4 verses from the prayers of Rudra. So who is praying here? To whom and what is the context? Anyone can tell? If you remember what we discussed last time.
Lord Shiva is praying to Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
His son, Lord Shiva's son Anuruddha is captured by Banasura, and there is
Lord
a
Krishna's
big fight.
son.
Yes, Mataji. And
Yes.
there is a big fight between, because Aniruddha was enchanted with Uma, the daughter of Banasura. So, and then when the fight was going on, and Lord Shiva also was there, entered into that fight. And finally,
Lord Shiva had told that he would be a guardian, no? He was pleased with Banasura and he said he would protect his life. That's why now he came, because already what happened? How many arms he had? And
1,000
it was
arms.
cut.
1,000
so Lord
arms
had cut.
benefit.
How
All
many are
but
left
4.
now?
4 were left, Mataji.
Yes. So now he is asking for his life, no? So yes, we will continue.
Lord Shiva asked Krishna to spare his life, Banasura's life.
Very nice, Prabhu. Hari Bol. Very nice. Nice summary. So this chapter is Canto 10. From chapter 63, Lord Krishna fights with Banasura. The verse 40. Yenmaya mohita diyaha putradara grihadishu unmajjanti nimajjanti prasakta vrijinarvane Vrijinarnave. Okay. Yenmaya mohita diyaha.
यन्माया मोहिता धियः
पुत्रधारा गृहादिषु
पुत्रधारागृहादिषु
उन्मज्जन्ति निमज्जन्ति
उन्मज्जन्ति
प्रसक्ता वृजिनार्णवे
प्रसक्ता वृजिनार्णवे.
Yes. Veena Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Their intelligence bewildered by your Maya, fully attached to children, wife, home, and so on, persons immersed in the ocean of material misery sometimes rise to the surface and sometimes sink down. Purport. Sri Sridhar Swami explains that rising in the ocean of misery indicates elevation to higher species such as demigods, and that being submerged refers to degradation to lower species, even to immobile forms of life such as trees. As stated in Vayu Purana, Viparyayascha bhavati brahmatva stavaratvayoho. The living beings rotates between the position of Brahma and that of an unmoving creature. Srila Jiva Goswami points out that Shiva, having glorified the Lord, now pursues his original intention of securing the Lord's grace for Banasura. Thus, in this and the following 4 verses, Lord Shiva instructs Bana on his actual position in relation to the Lord. Shiva's appeal to the Lord for compassion towards Bana appears in text 45. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Translation. Their intelligence bewildered by your Maya, fully attached to children, wife, home, and so on. Persons immersed in the ocean of material misery sometimes rise to the surface and sometimes sink down. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Guru Deenadayanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So this verse, what does it explains? So there is an analogy here, which is saying that rising in the ocean of misery. What does it mean? So here in the purport it explains. So Srila Sridhara Swami explains. So we know that when Prabhupada used to write, so he used to refer the commentaries of various acharyas, and Sridhar Swami was also one among them, right? So rising in the ocean of misery means, so because all the 3 planets, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that all the 3 places, it is not free from the 3 modes of material nature, and also Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravarti Norjuna Mamupetya Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate, right? So all the 3 worlds, there is a misery is there. Misery is there, fear is there, right? Even in the topmost planet also, even in the heavenly planets also, there is a fear always from the demons. So and all this is because of attachment. And it is given here when the intelligence is bewildered by your Maya. So we know that Krishna has 3 energies, right? So one is the internal energy, and one is external and the marginal energy. So when somebody is very much, it is Krishna's energy only. Either we have to be there or here, right? Either we are in the Krishna's internal protection, otherwise we are in external energy. So external energy means completely bewildered, and he gets attracted towards the materialistic things very much, and also very much attached to the family, wife, children. So it's not bad if, Prabhupada says a family can be a Vaikuntha also, but if everyone is devotee and center should be Krishna. So there are many devotees. Actually, more than 90%, even in the ISKCON also, 90% of them are grihasthas, and they're most working so nicely for in the service of the Lord, right? So even both the husband and wife, and also they are engaging the children. But when somebody is in materialistic way, like when they want to enjoy separate from Krishna, so that one is condemned here, right? Why? Because that is binding us to this material world again and again, right? Because the again and again we have to come and take birth in the planetary systems, just like the even Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, it explains like when we engage in the pious activities, we can go high in the branches of the tree, which denotes the heavenly planets. But when we do engage in the fruitive activities, we are born on this earth. And then when we are engaged in the impious activities, then we will go to the lower branches. That is the like a lower species of life we will take. No, so there Krishna explains what is the how is this tree nourishing. No, like for a tree to nourish, we water it, correct? So similarly, this material world, how is it nourishing? What is the water for this tree? Krishna speaks, no, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. What is the food for this
Is that
tree
the
to grow?
desires of living entities?
Yes, and desire is coming from where? What is the reason? They are in what? They are in the
Mind.
Conditional state.
yeah, conditioned by three modes, correct? So these three modes are said to be the water for this huge tree material. So nowhere we have heard, right? Actually, this material world, it is said it starts from it like a root is not seen. No, it looks like a reflection. No, it is actually in Vedas. It is explained the real tree. You cannot see. The example is given. How does this material world look like? So it looks like a perverted tree. So that means root is not there. So where is the root? Root is actually coming from Krishna. No, the original tree is in uh, the spiritual world, but the branches have come here. No, it is separated by a river, right? River of desire. Because of the desires, we are separated from the Lord, and because of our desire, we have taken here the birth. And we can see here that the this was even the attachment towards the children, wife, and home, and so on. It is mentioned here. So basically, even why this attachment? Attachment is not bad. No, just like the impersonalist, they say that you have to reject all these things and you have to isolately. We have to worship the God. God in the sense the impersonal feature of the Lord. But then the personalists say we have to attach or you have to dovetail actually. The attachment always should be to Krishna only. No? So it is said in the third canto, it explains about the spiritual planet. So where it is said in Vaikunthas, while this the Devata, the spirit, the people living in the Vaikuntha, the husband and wife. So there are husband and wife. No, some may feel like why is there is husband and wife, but then there is no attraction in the sense they enjoy. Prabhupada writes there one beautiful point. They enjoy the company of each other, but there is no attraction, kind of like lust. No, uh, there is no attraction because they have got something higher taste, right? Param drishtva nivartate. No, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjyam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So when one has advanced in the spiritual life, the lower taste will not be there. So he will not get attracted to these lower things. No, even how much ever beautiful women. So Bhagavatam, no, it is said that is there is one kind of woman is described like Padmini women. Padmini in the sense like a lotus, right? So she's so soft spoken. She's so like just like the example of no, we can take like Radharani, how she is, no, but Radharani is transcendental. I'm just saying, if there is some woman who is very good looking, who is soft spoken and very humble, and all these features are very attractive. So in material world, anybody, the men may wish to speak to such kind of women, right? But then all these feature, but one who is advanced devotee, it is said, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, like he is never attracted to even he keeps himself away, uh, because he knows that it is a entanglement for me, because because we know, like nobody can play with Maya, because there are so many examples in the history where even a big yogis, they have fallen down just because of coming in contact with the women. Can you give some examples?
Yes,
Who has
Mataji, Hare
fallen
Krishna
down?
Mataji, Vishwamitra,
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Rajarshi
Yeah,
Vishwamitra,
with whom he
most
came in
renowned.
contact? Yeah,
With Urvashi, the
yes.
name was Urvashi.
Yeah, Urvashi, na? Urvashi Menaka? Menaka, right? I think it was
Menaka.
Menaka, sorry.
Menaka.
Sorry, Mataji.
So yes, these people use that, like many times they in the Indra use many times to send this no the damsels in the sense of heaven, like so that to distract the devotees. But the pure devotees never get distracted. Even like in the case of Haridas Thakur, Ramachandra Khan, right? He was very envious of him, and he wanted to, because he was becoming famous, because the devotees are always famous in the three worlds. So his famous was everywhere. He became so famous because of his renunciation and devotion. So he wanted to spoil his name, and he sends a prostitute. But we see in his life that he was not at all distracted, though there was a so beautiful moment. So she was said like Maya personified, in the sense Maya Devi, using her illusionary energy, she was so looking so beautiful, and she tried to allure the Haridas Thakur, but he was she could not allure him, because he was completely in the transcendental state. He was in highest stage of Krishna consciousness, where one do not get distracted by the lower things, right? She could not. And actually we know that she also, I mean, by the first day, right, we know that how she comes in the first day, and he says that my rounds are not over, because he was chanting how many rounds every day?
192 Matan. 192.
Yeah, 192 rounds. We can't even imagine, no? So he was chanting so many rounds, like Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He says, my chanting is not over, so please stay. So it is actually, some people may ask, what was the need for him to, like, no, why did he take risk with Maya? No, we are not, Prabhupada will never say, to take such risk, because even Prabhupada went to a night club, and he had given the Krishna, he had given a lecture there, and he said, one of his disciples asked, like, can we also go? Prabhupada said no, because what will happen, they themselves may change, because the so many things, obnoxious things happen there, and it is not easy for someone who is not in control of their senses, right? Like they can't take that such a kind of risk. So similarly, here he was in an exalted stage, so he knew, right? So, and that Ramachandra Khan had actually, they had a plan of calling the police, so that when he's engaged with this woman, he will be caught. But that didn't happen at all. Instead, she became a devotee after 2 days. No, 2 days it happens. Like he always says, I don't have time. You please wait, because he was trying. Why did he do that? What was the need? Why did he do that? Why did he do Haridas Thakur? Why did he take the chance actually?
Mataji, just he wanted to delay the interactions, or maybe he wanted to avoid the interactions.
What is the purpose? So what was the need of doing that delay?
He wanted to make her a devotee also.
Yeah, purify her, no? Because the pure, they are so merciful. Actually, when one becomes advanced in the spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness, he feels compassionate towards the people. So actually, when one advances, one starts to feel that they how do they see, how Prabhupada sees. Like Prabhupada, when he went to West, he was feeling compassionate. He felt like these people are suffering. Actually, the people there, they were thinking that they are enjoying, but they don't have that higher taste. They are thinking that is the enjoyment. No, the material opulences they consider to be the highest. Now also people consider that if somebody, no, always His Grace Namanisha Prabhuji says, in a material life, one considered himself a successful if he has made one big house, he has a good car, he has an education, all these qualifications. If somebody has, he's considered to be someone who has actually achieved something in life, right? He has his own house and this, but this doesn't matter. For the spiritualist, these are no, because we know like how the Goswamis, they gave up everything. No, they gave up everything, which the post and all the opulences, because they got the higher taste. Unless one get the higher taste, they can't reject these things. No, artificially we can't give up. No, it has to come on our own. One when advance. So no, it is said, right? Uh, what is that? There is a Shrimad Bhagavatam. There is a verse. Jnana and Vairagya, right? Together it comes when one one advances in the Krishna consciousness, it is said, right? I'm not getting that verse. Very beautiful verse. Okay, not getting. So that is a sign like when one is advancing. So he no more is very much attracted. So all this attachment and these things, slowly he's not having so much of attachment to the material things. Even if he's having, he's using in the service of the Lord. So yeah. So the people feel compassion. Just like that, out of compassion, he asked her to wait. So and then we see like the third day, even she starts Hari Hari, she chant, and she falls at his feet, saying that no, for feeling ashamed of why she came, to defame him, and she also becomes a devotee, and he accepts her, and he says that you go and give away all your money which you made by the like. Illegal work, and then you can come. So she gives up everything and she comes, and in the same place where he was chanting, so he says he initiate her, and then he leaves the place, and many people later and come and take advice from her also. Nothing wrong, because even in the Bhagavatam it states there is a story in the which comes in the 11th canto of a Pingala. Pingala is a prostitute, okay? But then she was considered to be one of the 24 gurus, like it is mentioned, because she gave some lesson. Even like what is the lesson? Actually, it is said in a story. She was she repents, and there are prayers of her where actually one it happens like she was engaged in the sinful. I mean, it was her profession, and we know that, right? They do that for money. And one night it so happens like she was waiting and waiting, and she was waiting for a very rich person to come, and it ended with frustration. She don't get anyone that day, and out of the she was very much frustrated, and finally she gives up all the hope, and then finally she feels so much peaceful at heart, and then she realizes that how foolishly she was engaged in false hope, because this material happiness is considered to be chasing after this false hope, right? And then she takes to the lotus feet of the Lord, and she becomes a devotee, and very nicely she says, and she like purifies herself by by the devotional service. We can see that devotional service, how it purifies everyone, even the Ajamila also. After he was given 1 year, he was spared by the Yamadutas and the Vishnu Dutas, right? They because of his earlier done some spiritual activity. And then it is said he goes to Haridwar and he does so much of austerity and he chants the Harinam, and finally he was taken back to Godhead. So how much it doesn't matter. So it is said that even a person who is a dog eater, no, even somebody is taking the holy name of the Lord, he is considered to be higher than any person even who is engaged in the ritualistic activity or the yagnas and this kind, because somebody who is taking the holy name of the Lord is considered to be highest devotee, right? So Bhagavatam states that that is who is saying that Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, telling to Kapila Muni that whoever who have taken your name, O Krishna, no, O Krishna, because he is Krishna only, na. So he says like Harinam, whoever have taken, even if he is a considered dog eater, he should be considered like he has done all the austerities in life. He has bathed in all the rivers. He has done, all the sacrifices, all the charities, all that she says. So it should be considered like that. So it is like when one has taken to Krishna consciousness, all the lower attachment is gone. So I was saying that in the Bhagavatam, it speaks about a spiritual planet. So I'll show you this shloka. So this is the verse which explains here. So this is the topic, description of kingdom of God. See how the people are, we can understand by reading this translation. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha travel in the rail planes made of lapis lazuli, emerald and gold. So all are precious metals, gemstones. Although crowded by their concerts, so they are all going with their wife, who have large hip and beautiful smiling faces. They cannot be stimulated to passion by their mirth and beautiful charms. So can we see this? So all this beauty is there, but there is no desire for, see here it is there, sex desire is not there. No, they're friendly by intimate, friendly dealings, laughing, joking, everything is there, but it is not there. No. So even in the spiritual planet, this is a Vaikuntha planet, right? So there is nothing, it is missing. So that is why it is said when we take to Krishna consciousness, though sometimes that we may have the desire for sense gratification, but still we should never give up the devotional service. Slowly it will go. Prabhupada, what example Prabhupada gives for that? Okay, he gives the example of a fan, running fan. When a fan is running so fast, okay, and you switch off. So it will take a time, it is not like you switch off the fan and immediately fan stop. Still it will be running for some time, correct? So similarly, though we have taken to Krishna consciousness, it is not that immediately we get renunciation and we don't have any attraction towards materialistic thing. But slowly it will happen. No, that because the process is like that. Because once who has taken to Krishna, nothing else will look more beautiful to the so how there are many examples who have become the people who have become purified just by even the chanting of the holy name, right? So even we will also get it, but then we need to be patient. So
Mataji,
we'll go to the next.
One
Yes.
simple example that higher taste and lower taste. So
yes.
Earlier, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I was reading all other books which are during the prayer time. So once you start reading these three books, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prabhupada's book, so that taste has developed. Now you don't feel like reading any other book other than this.
Very true.
This is a small way we can develop a better taste, but that comes whenever.
So everything, just see that all our senses, if we take, now we are saying about the reading. So even the hearing also, right? We used to love the music of film songs and these things. But now we don't want to listen that, correct? We are not getting attracted towards it. Or we don't want
prasadam.
Very true.
Eating prasadam or seeing movies and serials and these things, live shows or whatever. So these things we used to see earlier, but these things we feel like it's a waste of time. We don't want to, no? We don't
No
want to engage
interest
in this.
at all, Mataji,
Yes. So
for
we
all
have
this.
got developing that, right? Because why? We have got a higher taste. Unless you get a higher taste, no, we cannot. Neti won't work. Because this impersonalist means not this, not that. They reject, keep rejecting everything. No, even the women also, you should not interact with the women, or you should reject all the materialistic thing, give up the money. So no, Prabhupada says, right? When somebody comes to Vrindavan, he gives up everything to the family and comes to Krishna with a bare-handed, like beggar. So Prabhupada says this is not right. You should give for Krishna. So what is the point of giving everything to family? That means you are still attached to family only. You're giving everything to them for their comfort and then coming to Krishna empty-handed. So that kind of renunciation is not good. But we see like acharyas and all, how they have set an example, like by they have used that money in the service of Lord, right? So there are even who are still working also. We have like Ambrish Das Prabhu, no, who is donating like more than 500 or 800 crore to TOVP temple in Mayapur, which is coming in Mayapur. So they're all using. That means they have developed detachment. Without such detachment, you will not be able to give it, right? So yes, as Prabhu said very nicely. So how we were used to read so many other books, novels, papers, TVs, and news, or like these things were very much attractive earlier because we didn't have a higher taste. But now we feel, right? Now, if you feel your family members also, if they are too much addicted, you feel pity for them. And out of pity, we get anger also. But what to do? We can't do it, what to say? Forcefully anyone. We can't forcefully bring someone. We can always tell them, or no. So that is what is advised. Like you can give prasad. So every day we have to. That is why it's very much important. We offer every day to Krishna and have prasad. So slowly. So devotees say that there are many examples how people will change, and we try
Because
to connect them to. Yes, Prabhu.
even even our children, grandchildren, used to get some small Krishna books with pictures and all
Haribol.
and give them, so
Yes,
they can also
very nice.
develop some taste in reading these books also,
Yes,
rather than
very nice. Yes, yes. We have to give them so that we have to somehow we have to bring them, right? So it becomes responsibility. Like last 2 days in the Bhagavatam class also, Nandi Prabhuji was mentioning that ours is a preaching mission and we should always try to preach. Whomever we meet, we have to try to give Krishna because that is the highest, biggest charity we are doing them. No, whatever we give, that may be temporary only, what we can give them, right? Try to give the books, try to sell the books, or try to give the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you are not able to sell some books, at least so much we are learning every day, so much philosophy we are hearing, something we can give, no? Like because so all are in ignorance. So this age is called as age of deterioration. No, people are in so much of ignorance, and that is why it is said, why it ignorance? Because as soon as Lord Krishna left, finished his pastime and left to spiritual world, it said that all the bad omens were there, right? When we read the Bhagavatam, we read how Yudhishthira Maharaj was seeing so many bad omens, which were indicating the departure of Lord Krishna to the spiritual world. So it is said, dharma and gnana both have gone along with the Krishna when Krishna went to spiritual world. But then what was replaced by it? Srimad Bhagavatam, right? In the place of Krishna, so it is said Srimad Bhagavatam is literary incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna, right? That is why we have this, all the beautiful prayers. It is so enlightening actually, if we take these lessons, right? So it's all so deep, and all that explain us that one has to develop the detachment to in the material world, or we have to do this material duties as a matter of duty, and more we have to engage in the service of the Lord. So if the what to say, the situations are not so good at home, then also it is recommended that morning you give for Krishna, right? Early morning nobody usually get up even in the home, like not very early. So how we have in a Brahma Muhurta. So Brahma Muhurta, we can get up and finish as much as chanting is there. Early morning you can finish and give in the during the day you can go for work, and evening you can give to the family, so that you are balancing everything. Because we are living in this material world, you will have to give time for them also, right? But then yes, we take out the time, and whenever it is possible, we hear more and more, because hearing about the Lord, in the association of devotees is very purifying, and it is also pleasing for Krishna, right? Krishna says, no, Name tishtami vaikunte yogina mridayeshu va yatra yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami narada. No, I'm not in Vaikuntha. I am not in the heart of the yogis. Yogis here means the Ashtanga yogis who do meditation for many, many years. No, so thousands of years the yogis meditate. No? So, and yatra gayanti madbhakta, wherever my glorification is done, there I am there. No, Krishna says that. So obviously Krishna will be hearing the glories. Whenever we glorify the Lord, Krishna is so pleased. No? Krishna is likes to hear the glories. So we see what is. Okay. Devadattam imam labdva nrilokam ajitendriyah yona driyeta tvatpadau sashocyo hi atmavanchakah. Translation. Okay, anyone wants to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, true.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: One who has attained this human form of life is a gift from God, yet who fails to control his senses and honor your feet is surely to be pitied, for he is only cheating himself. Purport: Lord Shiva here condemns those who refuse to engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So Lord Shiva is also condemning, because Shiva is Vaishnava, right? Vaishnavanam Yethashambhu, greatest Vaishnava of the Lord, devotee of the Lord. So one who has attained the human form as a gift from the Lord. See, so getting a human form itself is a biggest gift. Why it is said? Because in the other forms of life, we don't have that intelligence, right? So everything is common. So even they are doing sense enjoyment, we are also doing sense enjoyment. So what is the difference, right? Ahara nitya nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyametat pashubhir naranam dharmo hi esha madhika vishesho dharme nahina pashubhi samanam. So Shastra says that ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. So the eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These four things are common in animals and humans. No? So then what does it differentiate the human from the animals is the dharma. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Bhagavatam says, what is dharma? Dharma is that which is given by God, the instructions of God in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Those are the instructions which is given, which we have to follow. It is the Sanatana Dharma, right? Ours is the Sanatana Dharma. And Bhagavatam reject all the Kaitava Dharma, right? Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo, no, nirmatsananam satam. So, so it says, Bhagavatam states that it rejects all the kind of, so there are different dharmas, upadharma, no, parodharma, parodharma is this one. And Kaitava dharma means cheating religion. So it's all different kind of religion, everything is rejected. And so this dharma is there in the only in human form of life. Human form is given a higher intelligence so that we can understand God. We can know the relationship with Krishna and how one can make their life perfect and go back to Godhead. So still after giving all this, if No, it says, yet who fails to control his senses and honor your feet, right? So one has to control the senses, no? Control the senses. It becomes automatically controlled when we start to have only prasadam, right? The tongue is automatically controlled, and when the tongue is controlled, Prabhupada says it becomes everything is in the same line. No, the jiva, when tongue is controlled, and the stomach and belly and the genitals, all this get controlled automatically just by controlling one sense, that is the mouth, right? So all these organs get controlled, and then honor your feet is purely to be pitied. See, the pure devotees actually they pity. We think that we are in a very good condition of life, and I have everything and I'm enjoying. But actually, when they see us, they feel pity. Prabhupada also felt pity by seeing the people suffering, right? Hmm. So, because he is only cheating himself. Why is cheating himself? Because he don't know the highest good, what is good for him. Nate vidu svartagatim hi Vishnu durashayaye bahirarthamaninaha andayatandair upaniyamanaha tepi shatantriya muradam nidbaddaha. So Prahlad Maharaj says, right, that nate vidu swartagatimi Vishnu. So he says that these people do not know that their their benefit, or what to say, is in the worshipping Krishna, right? Their I'm not getting a right word. The real selfishness, right? Actually being selfish means if we are taking care of our spiritual activity, that is the real selfishness. The real selfishness means which is good for us, no? Nate swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashaya hai. They don't know what is the real good for them. That is Vishnu. Durashaya hai bahirartha maninaha. Because outward we are not seeing internally, our concentration is always on the external things, no? Actually the happiness lies inside, no? But there are people say the quotes, but they don't know what is it real actually, no? Knowing the soul and knowing our real identity as soul and engaging in the service of the Lord, so that nobody knows, but they say that, right? It's no, happiness is inside, right? So, Durashaya Bahirarthamaninaha, Andayatandar Upaniyamana means a blind man no, taking care of another blind man, no, holding a hand of a blind person. So what he will do? He will also fall into the ditch, and we will also fall along with him. So it is like that in the material world. So all of them, there also somebody else is, we are competing with the person who is materially advancing, and he is also falling in ditch, and we are also. In the sense, we are again coming back to this material world to suffer, right? So in this way, they are getting entangled again and again in this cycle of life and the birth and death, he says. So that is what is mentioned here by Lord Shiva also, that one who is cheating himself. Yes, who wants to read? Okay, we want to read the shloka. Verse 42. Yestvam यस्त्वां विसृजते मर्त्या आत्मानं प्रियमीश्वरं विपर्ययेन्द्रियार्थार्थं विषम् अति अमृतं त्यजन् यस्त्वां विसृजते मर्त्या
Yasvam visrajate martya
आत्मानं प्रियमीश्वरम्
atmanam priyameshwaram
विपर्ययेन्द्रियार्थार्थं
विपर्ययेन्द्रियार्थं
विषमति अमृतं त्यजन्
विषमति अमृतं त्यजन्.
Okay, some of you read, one of you.
May I, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, yes.
Translation by His Divine Grace, S.E. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. That mortal who rejects you, his true self, dearmost friend and Lord, for the sake of sense objects, whose nature is just the opposite, refuses nectar and instead consumes poison. Purport. The person described above is pitiable because he rejects that which is actually dear, the Lord, and accepts that which is not dear and is ungodly, temporary sense gratification, which leads to suffering and bewilderment. Hari Bol.
Yeah, very good. So even Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Krishna is the Bhuktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvalokamayeshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam. Surudam means I'm the most friendly to all the living entities. Who else can be more friendly than Krishna, right? He is the most. Always he is trying to protect his devotees. He doesn't even matter like what the world will talk about him. No, world may call him cheater. No, in Mahabharata war, so many cheating happened. Without cheating, they couldn't win. So anything, Krishna could have, in a second, he can demolish everyone. But why did he do that? He wanted to try to protect his devotee, the Arjuna, and also he wanted to establish Yudhishthira as the king, right? So that was his the able ruler has to rule the world, because why? Because the rule is, we see that in Kali Yuga, as the age is deteriorating, the all are like Shudras. Shudras are taking the position of leaders, and they don't have any good qualification. They are not trained, no, in the spirituality, and they don't have knowledge of our scriptures. Actually, Prabhupada says there are politicians who even there are Prabhupada states there is a politician in the past who has already said, I don't believe in all these things, no, religion and dharma. So it's actually like they're no, completely mad. No, they don't know that Prabhupada says there is something higher to man, that is no, the laws of God are always higher and that will rule. They don't know that where they are heading to. So we are under such kind of leaders, unfortunately, in Kali Yuga. So more and more it advanced, like more and more people are like becoming, the Shudras are going to get the post. Earlier it was like the Raja Rishis, one who would get that the post of a king, because he would actually, he himself is a Rajrishi, and also he would have the Brahmanas appointed in his in his kingdom, where he would take the advices from them, right? So how the because Brahmanas would give the very, they were not working for money, and they were giving what would be the whatever is for development of citizens, like spiritually and everything. So they were giving the good advices, so how one can uh, so for the benefit of all the prajas, right? So such was our time. But then now Prabhupada doesn't believe in this democracy thing, right? Because what he doesn't like, he says demons gone crazy, democracy means. So because it is elected by people who themselves are not qualified, and just with the, nowadays it is more like money, right? Whoever gives more money, people will vote them. They don't even think about the welfare of their own country or the state, or they are giving in the hands of a wrong people. And what that person will do, whatever money he had given, he want to earn it back. So he, all the illegal means, he will start to do, and so that he can recover his money fast. So we see that in the books of Srila Prabhupada. So how they are exploiting the people. But we are foolish, actually. We have to become intelligent. So here we don't understand that what is our real good, and the Krishna is the most dearest friend. So there is an example of a tree where there are two birds, right? So what are the two birds in a tree? Bhagavad Gita explains, no? One bird is what, and what is the another bird? Two birds.
Soul and super soul.
Yeah, one is the soul and one is the super soul. So what is the soul doing in the tree? It is tasting the different fruits of the tree. Sometimes it is very sweet, sometimes very bitter, sometimes very sour. No, that are the experiences we are going through in this life, and we are not giving up. Actually, Krishna, and there is on the top branch, there is one more tree, one more bird, which is actually looking at us, all stupid things we are keep on doing life after life, and we are not never tired of it. And Krishna is feeling so pity on us. So how much are you going to taste? No, come, turn to me. Krishna is saying, turn to me, I will hold your hand, right? But we are not ready to hold the hand of Krishna. So here it is said, so we are refusing the nectar and instead consuming poison. So usually, no, nectar and poison. So these things, in the sense like in the mode of goodness, one person accepts the difficulties in order to achieve something big in the future. No, currently he will accept the difficulty so that his future will be good. Spirituality is also something like that. We do the so much of austerity, or we take all the pain, controlling the senses, or avoiding sense gratification. So, but then why? Because we want for a higher, we want to go back to Godhead. We don't want to suffer in this and rot in this material world, right? But then what will happen when somebody is in Rajoguna? So he want to enjoy first. He feels whatever is the no, he sees the immediate gratification and he feels that he want to have it. And then after having what happens, later he will end in pain, right? So that is the Vishendriya Sanyogat Yettadagre Mrutopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukam Rajasam Smrutam. Vishendriya Sanyogat. When the senses come in the contact with sense object, what happens? Yettadagre Amrutopam. At beginning, it looks like it is a nectar. And Pariname Vishamima. But at the end, what happens? It will end up in pain. Right? Just like when somebody takes into smoking or cigarette or all these things, very they feel like they may be looking like a hero or to pose in front of someone or a girls, to have they think that is very stylish and to do that and very cool. But then actually what is happening, it is actually they are becoming addicted and they're actually they're ending up in getting diseases and all these things, right? So pariname vishamiva. So in the mode of goodness, what happens? What is that? Yettadagre. What is in actually? What is the shloka? Before that, there is one verse. Yettadagre mrutopamam parin. I'm not getting it. So basically it says that first it will be poison and then later it will be, so just like, whatever, like, we are getting, so just see, even if when we are like early, we get up and finish our rounds, it will be so good. But if you miss that Brahma Muhurta and get up late, have you all experienced? Some days it happens, right? Because of our health condition or something. So we are not able to, but then whole day it will become a struggle. You cannot complete your round. Correct?
Very true.
It becomes so struggle later. Why? Because we became lazy. Lazy is tamoguna or rajoguna. Sometimes it happens like we feel like, oh no, okay, I'm very tired. I slept very late. Let me sleep for some more time. But if we don't get up, it is better you take a nap during the day later. But better not miss the Brahma Muhurta, because once we miss, it becomes like we don't have a time. No, one who gets up in the early morning has a lot of time for so many other works, right? You can do so many things after that. Like you have time to study also, you have time to learn the shlokas, or like, no, so different things you have time. But then when you are getting up late, so almost your day, 2-3 hours is gone. So then what you will do? So because we have other works also, materialistic works, which we have to do. And after that, you give a time for Krishna, then very difficult. And even the mind is not, we are not able to concentrate, because the main point is we have to concentrate on while chanting, right? While chanting the holy name, we have to be chanting very sincerely. But what is the point? Otherwise, no use, na? We are chanting and without concentration. what is the benefit? Anyways, we are giving so much of time. Why can't we do with concentration? So it is always in Sattva-guna. Mind is in Sattva-guna in the morning. So we have to try to do in the early morning hours maximum. And something, because one has to get ready for office, or you have to do the cooking for the family. So some rounds may be pending, you can do during the day. Try to finish before 12, right? Or somebody who is working, they can finish during the evening, some rounds, whatever pending, or in the wherever, if you have time in the office, sometime break or somehow. But then the quality is not the same as you do in the early morning. This we see, right? So this is like that's Sattva guna. And then in the Tamo guna, it is said, Yedagre chanubandhe cha sukam mohanamatmanah nidralasya pramadottam tattamasamudarutam. So in the mode of ignorance, the starting is also painful and ending is also painful, right? It's always pain. No, whatever the destructive work somebody does, what happens? He tries to distract or harm the people and do. Then what? Finally, he will be also caught and killed, or he'll be sent to jail. So all those are destructive work. Or even in the Tamoguna, if we have to, even in the somebody getting into the intoxication and these things also, those are all Tamoguna only, right? Rajoguna is actually mainly of like hankering and attachment. These things come in Rajoguna. But in the Tamoguna, it is more nidralasya sapramadotam. Too much sleepy is considered as Tamoguna, quality of a Tamoguna. If somebody is sleeping too much, it is a it is said like it is a loss of knowledge, more and more, no? And Arjuna was called as what? He had conquered the sleep, right? He had a name. What was that? Arjuna, Krishna calls him by some name, right?
Gudakesha.
Gudakesha. Yeah, Gudakesha, right? Thanks, Mataji. So it was Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has conquered the sleep. And why was he got that name? Because we know that during the night also he used to practice the Dhanurvidya, right? Yeah, and he was inspired by Bhima eating at night. Like he saw Bhima one day eating in the night, and the hand was going to mouth, there was no light. And by that he took inspiration that why can't I do that, right? So yeah, so this he so Gudakesha, but then the one who is very much lazy, Nidra alasya, that laziness, sleepiness, pramadottam means madness. So we can see people like for very trivial things they get upset and they start fighting. Actually, these are all symptoms of Kali Yuga only. In Kali Yuga only, people are not in mode of goodness. Earlier in Satyuga, mostly they were in mode of goodness. So they were not picking fight for small things. But in Kali Yuga, we can see that people get upset for very, very small things. They get agitated and they start fighting. Actually, today itself, I saw near my house only, some in the next lane. So just, somebody is parking next to their house. Actually, it is not a parking area also. It's on the road. And just that it is to their right side of the road, right? So they're not allowing the person to park the vehicle. So is they carrying or what? Why you have to be so much, possessive? And for the small thing, and also people pick up fight. You can't even imagine like small things nowadays people get because they're empty inside. No, when you're not having the higher knowledge, what happens? All these things will trigger because they identify more with the mind. No, so I was hearing like I think Gaurav Prabhu once was saying, like it is very easy to say that I am not this body, but it's very difficult to say I'm not this mind. We are actually not body and mind, right? We are soul. Because most of the time, people identify themselves with the mind. But what is actually mind? Mind is that thing, whatever we have acquired from the outside only, right? So as a baby child, we didn't know anything. But then over the time, and some are from samskaras which we are carrying from many previous lives, and some are we have cultivated in this life. So, but those are all not true, right? Whatever we have come in contact with in this life, and we identify ourselves that is me, but that is not right. So he was saying one day in the Bhagavatam class that it is very difficult to come out of the conception of that I am not mind. Maybe I am not body, I can say, but that not I am not mind. Yes. So yeah. So, but that is why somebody was also asking, right? So, how do you make difference between a mind and intelligence? It's very difficult because the lust is there in all the three places. That is why, how do you identify? Okay, question to you before I answer this. Anyone can attempt. What do you do when you get confusion? Like, is your mind speaking to you, or is your intelligence speaking to you, or is it higher intelligence or your mind? How do you differentiate this?
Mataji, intelligence is the discrimination between the two opposites or
Very
between the
nice.
two.
Very
The
nice.
discrimination comes with the intelligence.
Yes. So the discriminating power is there in intelligence. So anybody wants to add anything? Say anything? That's a good point. How can we do that? Sometimes we are in a confusion, not able to take some right decision. We are not sure if this is mind is telling me or if it is the intelligence, no, which is right. How do you do? How do you take decision in such cases? Anybody wants to say?
You have to consult with your senior devotees or somebody
Yes,
who is
very
knowledgeable.
nice. Yes, that is the thing, right? Sadhu, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, right? So this is the thing. We have to see what is Guru saying in this regard. So I have some doubt, anxiety in the mind. What did Arjuna do when he was in a problem, right? So whenever we have a disease, we go to doctor. No? So similarly, when we have spiritually, when we are weak or when we have a problems about life, we have to go to a spiritual master. So we have the instructions of the spiritual master. So we have to see what Srila Prabhupada is saying, or what is the senior devotees are saying. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Sadhu, any senior devotees who are in who are a very good sadhana, who is doing and who is in a right, whom we can consult as a mentor and who can guide us in our life. So, or with whom you can share the secret, right? So we can consult them before taking decisions, when something is crucial. And it should not be related to our material thing. Yes, material also we can share, but usually for the spiritual things, right? And then the one is Shastra. What is the scripture saying on that? So then we know this is not our mental speculation, but actually this is based on Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, right? So that is how we can discriminate. Yeah. I think we are done. We are still in 42. My God, I thought we completed. Let me see. It's very small. We just complete, okay? Just one line. We just read it. Aham brahmata vibhudha munayas munayas श्रयाः सर्वात्मना प्रपन्नस्त्वम् आत्मानं प्रेष्ठतम् प्रेष्ठमीश्वरम् अहं भ्रमात विबुधा
Aham
Aham
Brahma
Brahmata Vibhuta
मुनयश्चामलाशयाः
Munayascha Malasayaha
सर्वात्मना प्रपन्नास्त्वम्
Sarvatmana
Prapanastam
Prapanastam
आत्मानं प्रेष्ठमीश्वरम्
Atmanam
Prishtamishwaram.
Prishtamishwaram.
Translation. I, Lord Brahma, the other demigods and pure-minded sages have all surrendered wholeheartedly unto you, our dearmost self and Lord. So we see that finally the Lord, he's accepting the exalted position of Lord Krishna here, and he's saying that we have everybody, including the sages. No, this is same. Even Arjuna also says this, right? Asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva pravishme. And also he says, everybody like Brahma, everybody, the sages, all are paying obeisances. Nobody can understand you. No, Arjuna says. Krishna himself says, Name vidus, so he says, Uyeva mahabaho shuname paramamacha yatyam priyaman. Nate vidussuraganaha prabhavanna maharshayah ahamadirhi devana maharshina cha sarvashah. Nate vidussuraganaha, suragana means all the devatas. Nobody knows me. Prabhavanna maharshayah, there are very powerful sages, right, who can also with their yogic power, they can travel to different planets. They can also go to Vaikunta, like Durvas Muni went to Vaikunta, but there is no entry inside. But then he was able to travel to, so there are yogis like that. They have so many mystic powers. Prabhavanna Marshayah, Ahamadirhi Devanam. No, why they nobody know, even still they don't know me. Why? Because I am the Adi of all. So when I am there, nobody was there. No Devatas was there. So Krishna is the Adi Purusha. Right? Govindam Adi Purusham. Ahamadirhi Devana Maharshinancha Sarvashaha. So of all them, I am the Adi. So nobody knows them. Right? Before all of them, Krishna was there. So here, hence, we see that when the Lord Shiva is paying obeisances. Last verse. Tam tva jagat sthiti udanyata hetum samam prasantam surudatma daivam ananyamekam jagadatmaketam bhavapa vargaya bhajama devam. Tam tva jagat sthiti udayanta hetum
Tam tva jagat sthiti udayanta hetum
samam prashantam surudatma daivam
samam prasantam suhridatma daivam
ananyamekam jagadatmaketam
ananyamekam jagadatmaketam
bhavapavargaya bhajama devam.
Bhavaparvagaya
Bhajama Devam.
Read someone.
May I, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Translation. Let us worship you, the Supreme Lord, to be free from material life. You are the maintainer of the universe and the cause of its creation and demise. Equipoised and perfectly at peace, you are the true friend, self, and worshipable Lord. You are one without a second, and the shelter of all the lords and all souls. Purport. Srila Sridhara Swami states that the Lord is a true friend because he sets one's proper intelligence into motion if one desires to know the truth about God and the soul. Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakraborty both emphasize that the term Bhava indicates the highest liberation of pure love of Godhead, characterized by unalloyed devotional service unto the Lord. Srila Vishwanath Chakraborty also explained that the Supreme Lord is Samam, perfectly perfectly objective and balanced, whereas other living beings having an incomplete grasp of reality cannot be perfectly objective. Those who surrender unto the Lord also become fully objective by taking shelter of His supreme consciousness. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Translation. Let us worship you, the Supreme Lord, to be freed from material life. You are the maintainer of the universe and the cause of its creation and demise. Equipoised and perfectly at peace, you are the true friend, self and worshipable Lord. You are one without a second, the shelter of all the worlds and all souls. So, very beautifully summarized by Lord Shiva, right? So, if one has to be freed from this materialistic find, no, Aradhananam Sarvesham, Vishnur Aradhanam Param. No, so not that one. Tasmat Parataram Dehe. No, not that one. So there is one more thing. So actually he says, Lord Shiva to Parvati in one place that if we want liberation, only it is from Vishnu. So the same thing he's saying. So so materialistic kind of life, nobody, Devas, including Lord Shiva also cannot give anyone, give this liberation. So liberation is only possible for Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So he's saying that even the cause of all causes. So though we know that Lord Shiva does the destruction, but then again, he does as per the instruction of the Supreme Lord. So that is why he says here that you are the cause of its creation and demise, though he's directly don't involve, right? To whom? So he's praying this, he's saying this to Lord Krishna, and who is saying that you are the true friend, self, and one without a second. So what does Prabhupada say about this? What is the meaning of one without a second? Anyone knows what is one without a second?
You are Mataji. You are individual only and not related to any other.
No, basically, one without a second means you are the absolute truth. So there is nobody equal to or independent of you or higher to you. No. So we say in the one of the offense, in the second one. What is the second offense of while chanting the holy name we chant, right? To consider the name of Lord Brahma or Shiva to be equal or independent of Lord Vishnu. So if we consider, because everybody feels all are same, so if we consider that is kind of Pashandi, no, the Padma Purana calls that as a Pashandi. So that is here he is mentioning that you are without one, without a second, means there is no second person like you. You are the only one, who is the shelter of all worlds and souls, right? So he is the true friend. Krishna is the true friend, and also it is said that he is the Sama, perfectly objective and balanced. No, Krishna is never disturbed. We see that in whole his Krishna Avatara, never we can remember Krishna with a crying face or anything. And whatever, everything he handles with so ease. And even it is said that the creation and annihilation also, it happens just like a deva, means it's like a child play. It's also another meaning. It is said one who can create this universe, maintain and annihilate, just like a child playing with the sand. It's so easy for Krishna, but he is not taking so much hardship. For just like in the material world, uh, for gaining anything opulences, we have to work so hard. But in the spiritual world, it is Lord gives as a benediction all the opulence. Not just Prabhupada said, not just the no in the material world. Spiritual world. Even Krishna can give in the material world also, when he knows that how the Lakshmi is being used, just like how he gave to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada used everything in the service of Lord. So when we are purified, in our activities, then Krishna gives that benediction. Okay. So with this, we stop here. We complete the prayers of Rudra. Thank you everyone for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavanti ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you everyone. Sorry it became late, 15 minutes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you. Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.